Good afternoon, listeners. Today's headline: a federal judge has called President Trump's lawsuit against the Internal Revenue Service an improper exercise in self-dealing, ruling that the extraordinary tax protections he claimed were not the product of a legitimate settlement. Judge Kathleen M. Williams, sitting in the U.S. District Court in Miami, delivered a 56-page order that goes far beyond a simple dismissal and sheds light on the behind-the-scenes negotiations that shaped the outcome. In January, former President Trump filed suit against the I.R.S., accusing the agency of leaking his 2016 tax returns and demanding at least $10 billion in damages. Rather than following the conventional path employed the IRS's defenses, the Department of Justice reached a so-called settlement agreement. The agreement contained two controversial elements. First, it created a $1.8 billion fund intended to apportion money to allies of the president who claimed they were victims of what Trump dubbed government weaponization. That proposal sparked immediate backlash because it appeared poised to reward those that stormed the Capitol on January 6, 2021. The Justice Department, however, later announced it would not move forward with the fund. N. Judge Williams' ruling acknowledges that the deal, the so-called amnesty Trump has allegedly received from IRS investigations, still stands, but she casts a damning light on the route through which it was achieved. She wrote, "The nature of the suit itself and the conduct of the parties and counsel from its filing make plain that this was an attempt to use the court to provide some legitimacy to an agreement to confer immunity to people and entities affiliated with the president. In other words, the lawsuit was a vehicle, not a genuine legal dispute. N. Beyond the substance, the judge also addressed the conduct of the counsel. She referred the lawyer who brought Trump's case against the IRS to the Florida bar for potential disciplinary action. Additionally, the judge will forward her decision to the New York bar, which is already investigating Acting Attorney General Todd Blair, who played a leading role in negotiating the settlement, now faces a Senate confirmation hearing this week, and her handling of the case has come under scrutiny. N. This decision is part of a growing pattern of federal judges critiquing the Trump administration for hijacking normal court procedures to serve presidential interests. Trump has frequently used the criminal justice system to pursue or punish those he views as enemies. In this instance, though, he sought to employ the civil legal system to benefit himself, hoping to legitimize a backroom deal that the judge deemed an abuse of the courts and the law. She wrapped up her opinion with a stark reminder that, whatever may be the parties' wishes, they cannot alter the aspect or evade the rule of law. N. While the settlement itself remains, the judge's opinion places a spotlight on the questionable legal processes behind it. It also signals that any future attempts by the executive branch to use the justice system in a self-serving way will be rigorously scrutinized, and that the officials involved may face disciplinary action. N. That's all for today's story. Join us next time for more updates on the legal battles shaping our nation's governance. Thanks for listening, and keep questioning the narrative that flows through the courts. N.